All right, today on this Vets Daily Vlog, I'm going to talk about basically yearly programming and how my view has kind of changed on it, and what I'm actually what I thought about, what I was thinking about doing today, as far as planning out my yearly annual plan for my powerlifters. So, as I've been going through the training that I've been doing for this upcoming phase, and the new ideas that I've kind of had with the powerlifting have led me to kind of think about the relationship between volume and intensity. Now, the program that I've been doing and writing and refining, along with all the people that are contributing to it, including all my training partners and colleagues of mine that I've networked with, and we just getting ideas of each other. All of that has kind of shaped this whole thing, and what it's come down to is that this program is very high intensity based, in the sense of a lot of our heavy work is spent above 85%, and our volume 2 to 1. You know what I mean? With the deadlift, we do 1 week, 1 week out of every cycle where we're doing more than 1 rep on deadlifts over 80%. And for our both squat and deadlift, we are doing rep ranges and intensities where we're pushing 90% twice in the month, sometimes three times in the month, and it's working for us. You know what I mean? We've been very good about our recovery. We've been very good about our nutrition, and very good about our sleep for the most part. So those factors are definitely playing a role into why this is beginning to be successful. But I think on top of that, we had a foundational phase back in September, or back in like August or September, where I started to really learn about movement, the importance of movement before weight, and something that I really hadn't focused on before is more about just get the weight, and my mindset has kind of changed to get the movement and the weight will come. And I'm starting to get to that point. So now when I'm thinking about building this annual plan, it was this year, or this past like 6 months, 7-8 months now, has been waved from emphasis on technique to emphasis on just weight and spending a lot of time above 80%, led to injury, which led to rehab, which led to getting smart about programming and movement, and now we're back to this high intensity deal. And what's happening is it's starting to catch up. Like, you know what I mean? There's now like a little bit of CNS, not burnout, but like it's starting to get a little bit harder to get going for lifts. Like, you know what I mean? And part of that might be because of some lifestyle changes, but this will not be able to be maintained for like an entire year, in my opinion. I just really don't think it will. Am I gonna, do 3 months of hypertrophy? No. Am I going to completely get away from, the competition list? No. But I think looking at an annual plan, we got to get smarter about when we're doing certain phases and how we kind of build to certain phases. And I think the way that I've been programming and building this phase, or these Vets Elite powerlifting programs, I would really call it cycles, I guess. Like, these cycles are good in leading up to competition season, right? I've never really thought about in-season, off-season for powerlifting, but now that I'm kind of looking at this annual plan type of deal, it's starting to make more sense that there is in-season, is off-season. You know what I mean? And the closer you get to in-season, where you would do your competitions, that's when I think you need to be spending more time around heavier weight. You need to get used to being under that load and need to be used to maintaining those good movement patterns so that you don't get yourself injured. And the way it's been working out has been great, and I think that, we're getting close to kind of building, I'm getting close to making a full wave into a meet, in the sense of the program that we're doing, to get totally prepped, ready to go, to hit the PRs we want, and get in, get out. And I think, we're right there. I think that the ideas are continuing to come. I'm doing a really good job at talking it out, figuring out what to do. And it's really cool. It's the first time I've actually been able to really see from a powerlifting standpoint, what this annual plan deals kind of look like. So basically, I kind of want to share what I think, basically what's going to happen. I wrote down a little post-it note. I'm going to write down kind of what my yearly plan coming up is going to look like. So right now, we're in the middle of our second VETSELITE phase, second VETSELITE training phase. And what we're going to do is we're going to finish this out, and we're going to go into one more, which is going to be our prep. Right, so that prep will consist of like the highest intensity of weights, the lowest volume. It'll be, I'm not exactly sure what it is yet. I have a kind of an idea, actually based upon some like philosophy behind max effort sprint work that I want to try out and see what happens. But we're going to try that out, and that'll lead us into our meet, which should be around, I think we're going to either do April or May. And then what's going to happen is we're going to restart our a whole annual plan. So first I'm going to try it out, and I'm excited. But basically how it's going to go is we're going to start off by doing, a 6-week block of basically like work capacity, GPP. And it's going to have some hypertrophy resemblance to it, but we're not trying to up weight classes at this point. So basically the way that'll be handled is by nutrition. So we're going to start there. That'll be 6 weeks of GPP and work capacity, and we're going to use Pat Davidson's mass model, where we're going to go 30-30 into 20-40. If you don't know what I mean, talk to me. I'll let you know what I'm talking about. But if you do, then you kind of see the idea of what we're trying to go for here, to kind of build some strength, maybe get a little bit more muscle mass, also spend some more time doing different movements, and get our work capacity up, because we want to be ready to work at these higher intensity loads as we build. Then after those 6 weeks, we're going to do a bridge week, and this is something I'm kind of getting into. Just thinking of it says, I don't want to call it a deload week. I just think it has a bad connotation, just like kind of the word warm up has a bad connotation. And that idea has come from Jamie Smith, the U.S. Strength. I think that's an amazing point, and I think the deload has the same type of bad juju around it, right? So I want to come up with bridge weeks that are going to get you from one cycle to the next cycle without you feeling like a loss of momentum and a loss of strength, loss of conditioning, GPP, work capacity, etc. So then we would go into a bridge week for 1 week, and then what I want to do is I want to get back to getting used to kind of the big three, and start working towards heavier loads, but stay within the kind of like 65 to 85 range, not move from the 65, 85. And I don't want to move up to above 85 yet in our main deals. And I want to get some more volume in there, some strength volume. And I think one of the perfect ways to do that is 5-3-1. And depending on how we're feeling at the time, we can do a 5-3-1 with a triphasic spin on it. I actually used that for a football team at ESU that I trained, and it's worked very well for those guys. And, the focus there wasn't even for, powerlifting. The focus there was to develop the squat pattern, develop the bench pattern, and get some explosive ability concentrically on that. And I think that would wave really well into starting to introduce the dynamic effort work back. But just getting some of that general strength work early in the off season, I would call that mid off season would be great. Then we would start back into the VETSELITE powerlifting, and I think that's the first high intensity block, and that would be 8 weeks. We would then have a bridge. Potentially after that first one would be where we would put our first meet as a feeler. Then we would have our second VETSELITE bridge, third VETSELITE, which is the peak, right into second meet of the year. And I think that's a good split. Again, this talk was kind of like just what's going on in my head personally, and it's good to kind of see how other people will think through their programming, especially annually. It's something that I'm definitely getting better at, and now that I'm trying to think of things in a long-term perspective. So if you got any questions about what we're doing, or you're interested in getting in on this, let me know. Have a good night.